Hello, welcome to the Light Body Living. This is a podcast where we are talking about vibrant health. My name is Chantel Selman. I'm your host, and we're going to be tackling a topic today where we're realizing, or I am seeing, the rise of ultra processed foods and the harm that is causing. And this is where we want to just um, talk you through the industrialization, the commercialization of these specific foods, and ultimately what it is doing to our health. Okay, so I mean, it is staggering to know that some statistics came out recently where it's about 60% of the average diet in the UK and the United States consists of ultra processed foods. Um, that in itself is incredible. I want to put these notes right here so that I can see them. So, they're addictive. They're full of refined sugars, lots of artificial flavors, preservatives, and this is where they're making them shelf stable. They're making them really palatable. They're making them addictive, and you are consuming them. And I want to really help you to move to real food. Okay, and how did we get here in the first place? I mean, it's not that long ago that our grandparents were eating real food. Um, we watched the era of canning and refrigeration come in. Those are in my era and before. Um, yes, it helped to solve some substantial problems when it came to spoilage, nutrient deficiencies. I mean, those things were good. It made things a little more convenient across the board for everybody. But then the commercialization of the food industry took it to a whole other level of greed, where um, the convenience now turned into bioengineering food and processing food to such an unrecognizable degree that we have kids that, you know, they're not seeing a lemon, they're thinking of the squeezy on the shelf and that kind of thing. But the emulsifiers, the stabilizers, the artificial colors, these things are what are recognized as food now, and they're packaging all the snacks, the chips, the cereals, the sodas, our frozen ready meals, processed meats from hot dogs to nuggets. These things are designed to be irresistibly tasty, and they come at a cost. Okay, and it's our health that's the cost. So the health consequences, man, you're talking about nutrient poor, loaded with empty calories. They lead to diabetes, obesity, heart disease, and the level of sugar. Is high, low fat is high in sugar, um, and vice versa. So, and they're addictive by nature. And this is disconnecting you from real food, which is what I really want us to get into a little later. And that is we're losing touch with our seasonal, fresh, local foods. Um, Going home and cooking a meal or prepping a meal for the raw fooders out there. Um, but these quick fixes are not helping our health in the long term. Being aware is really key to the first step. Okay, reading the labels, questioning the ingredients. If you can't pronounce it, then likely it is ultra processed. um, really being conscious of eating whole foods, fresh vegetables, um, legumes, nuts, seeds, grains, and that kind of thing is where you need to get more into, you know what I mean? Cooking more meals at home, um, really reconnecting with that element of earth, air, water, and fire. Um, So it's something that you can do over time. You don't really have to try to fix it all at once. It's a horrific thing that we have gotten ourselves into. My idea of fast food is, a banana or apple, whereas most people fast food is a drive-through. And this is where you need to really, you really need to make some choices. Okay. Um, I know it's hard because disproportionately, economically, the lower income communities are the ones that are hardest hit by these foods because it's cheaper to obviously buy ramen noodles than it is to buy regular noodles, for an example. Um, and they've marketed it targeting children. They it's almost like they're leading consumers down a path of ill health, and the environmental cost is also high in terms of the amount of packaging that is done. Um, it really gets everybody into monocrop farming, and it also destroys the ecosystem because now you're focusing on a few crops like the corn, the wheat, the soy, and that kind of thing. So you really need to understand your food labels and look at the key ingredients, and make sure that there are not a lot of ingredients and that you can recognize all the ingredients if you're using something that's processed. Um, you have to find more comfortable, unprocessed, stable snacks to have in the house. Preparing your meals, make it a joyous occasion. Start with looking at some simple recipes and moving from there. There's incredible benefits to eating fresh, seasonal, local foods. Um, right now, we're coming to the end of the year, and you're talking about pumpkins being in. This is something that you can make into lots of different dishes. Um, Pumpkin peanut soup, pumpkin ginger soup. I make it into a pasta. Um, you can bake it. You can just actually you have the opportunity to punch it in into your Google, and you can get 50 recipes that you can do when it comes to breadfruits are now coming in. Um, Passion fruits are everywhere. Avocados are now starting to come back in. So you need to build um, a new repertoire for yourself of menus on seasonal freshness, sustainable ways of eating more food at home instead of everything being bought and so convenient. Um, you know that I am going to advocate for it being high raw and introducing more raw foods into your diet, local, fresh, and seasonal. This is where you're buying foods that are recently harvested. They're packed with their enzymes and minerals and nutrients. Locally grown, obviously, would be my first choice. That minimizes the whole time of transport, and they will retain the maximum nutrients in that case. So you choose those first. Um, Obviously, I'm going to choose plant based, and uncooked or minimally processed would be my top priority. So you're getting the maximum nutrient denseness, and you can start off very simple by swapping out meals. I usually get people at the clinic to start with swapping out their breakfast for a green smoothie, having a bowl of fruit. Um, there are bowls of smoothie bowls that you can do now, that you can add now your toppings of nuts or um, cocoa nibs or banana slices or, you know what I mean, bee pollen, so that you can get different nutrients and different textures. Salads is always a great go-to since you can vary it in so many ways. Right now, watermelons are in. Watermelon, cucumber, and tomatoes make a good base for salad. And then I like to put my broccoli sprouts and sunflower sprouts in there. Cut up some parsley and some cilantro, and really make it into something really nutritious. You can also um, maybe grind down some pumpkin seeds and sprinkle them through it, just to give it a little bit of a different texture. Those are all options, but growing in alignment with the cycles, you having a chance to have a little garden so you can go and pick your things, is also really important to this situation. And you know that these ultra processed foods really affect your gut health. Um, they're very addictive, and they really slow you down over time, especially when it comes to dealing with cancers. Okay, there is, I'm looking for some of the research that I did um, on a segment. Yeah, so these sugary beverages, these processed meats, these instant noodles, these frozen meals, these things they have a lot of carcinogenic compounds in them, and they nitrites and so on that when compounded they really affect your digestion. So cooking methods like frying and grilling are release some of these harmful substances, and this is where people with inflammation, eating a lot of refined sugars and unhealthy fats and artificial additives contribute to the chronic inflammation. So you want to dial that back, okay? And it contributes to obesity, it contributes to insulin resistance, it disturbs your entire gut microbiome. And this is where, when people come into the clinic, you try to dial that all back. So, first, I start with a little cleanse, 3 or 5 or 7 day cleanse. It's alkalizing cleanse. It really helps to put in some good bacteria in there, get the gut microbiome um, rolling with a little more of the good bacteria that it needs. And then you start changing up your diet. You take out a lot of processed foods, you get them back into eating real foods. You cut back on the starches and protein and increase their fiber intake, so that they get a lot more um, nutrients from that level. But once you do a cleanse, it really helps to make it easier for you to absorb the nutrients. So this is something that you want better gut health from the beginning of the process. So coming through the clinic or calling online to do a one-on-one consultation, you could check out our website, organicearthiraw.ca, and see about our consultations, or you could come into the office here in Barbados, 426 but you don't want to be feeding the cancer. I mean, the cancer thrives on you eating too much refined sugars. The spikes in your insulin accelerate the growth of tumors. You want to eat a lot more antioxidant rich foods. That is what supports your immune system and make it easier for the body to fight um, cancer patients already. experience a high level of inflammation. So the consumption of ultra processed foods just add fuel to the fire, worsening symptoms and outcomes, which is what you don't want. Um, what you do want is to be eating more fruits and vegetables. You want to get proper guidelines on which fruits and vegetables are the best for you. Um, that will increase your antioxidants, neutralize a lot of free radicals, and that are causing the cell damage. The phytochemicals in the plants are anti-cancer properties. They help to reduce inflammation and slow down tumor growth. You want to get more fiber in your diet, fiber from sprouts, seeds, leafy greens. These things help to support healthy gut microbiome, and help your body to release toxins a lot easier. Um, Alkalizing the system um, is a interesting thing because your stomach needs to be quite acid, but putting in the right plant-based foods is intelligent enough to work its way through your system and balance out the body's pH where it needs to, where it's getting a little too acid, and it makes it uncomfortable for the cancer cells to grow. Um, and we already know from going through COVID that the one thing that you want to focus on as well is boosting your immune system. And for all of you that are worried, because there's a large number of people that are watching family members or friends go through cancer, and you're worried about it for yourself, these are ways that you can also prevent instead of waiting till after the fact. You need to put these systems and different things I'm mentioning in place to prevent. So cutting out the ultra processed foods and going back to nature and eating a lot more natural foods is what you need to do. So read your labels, cook your food at home, prep your meals, make them fresh, seasonal, and nice whole ingredients. Focus on raw living foods. That's where you also get your hydration. So um, that's where you also get your enzymes to help the food to break down in your system. It makes it easier for the body to heal and to thrive. And buy local, shop seasonal, and start small. You don't have to start with big things. We were talking about earlier, the green fusion smoothie is one of the things I introduced right after the cleanse. But getting more salads in your diet, especially in your midday meal, with your circadian rhythm, you really should be eating in the when the sun is at its highest. So um, at least 50% of the plate should be vegetables. Um, Steamed salads, stir fry, just put in more vegetables in your life and minimize the amount of protein and starches that you're putting in. And then you come with something light in the evening, whether it be just a well built cocoa tea, you can do a soup or a salad, something of that nature. Um, I do sometimes I do coconut kefir with layers of berries, like a parfait kind of thing. Sometimes, if there's a certain fruit in season, like a soursop or golden apple, I would do a mousse or a golden apple crisp, which has been on my mind just because it's golden apple season right now. But you really want to start using this as a preventative tool as well as a tool to really fight um, whatever you're going through, whether it be weight, diabetes, cancer, um, most illnesses, unfortunately, because there has an inflammatory component to it. So reversing that is paramount, and it starts with your food. Then you have to get in the elements. Okay, you need sunshine, you need good hydration, you need good quality sleep, you need movement. So you have to do these things, grounding, meditation. Um, these are things I help you with when it comes to building out your routine. And we talk about all of this on our community space. And so it's some place that you can join the community, the House of Wellness Warriors. We're actually in our 25th anniversary um, coming in January. And for the whole year, I'm going to leave it open so people can join the Wellness Warriors group free of cost. And we're going to continue to talk about these things and show you how to make different foods and start from the basics and work our way up. But what we need is to have times in between there that we can do some cleansing and make sure that we can really adopt more plant-based lifestyle. For those that are like-minded and are interested, House of Wellness Warriors is where we will have full-on discussions. I do put up the podcast there so that everybody can see, but we also have a question and answer segment. I usually pick a topic during that time and we talk about it. But I also do some recipes so that you can actually see me make things live. And these are things that will make it easier for you to do things at home. And we're going to start this year off with doing everything from the nut milks to the smoothies to talking about juicers and equipment and things you already have at home, talking about food processors so you can make a little cauliflower rice or get yourself a spiral slicer. So we'll go through those things to make it easier because honestly, you don't need to have a lot of recipes. You need to have good ones and you do them regularly. Okay, and you can slowly change out some of your meals for some of the raw meals and get into eating more um, energizing and nutritious food as opposed to going the other way where you're now eating too much ultra processed foods and you need to change the diet so that your journey is completely different. So join the community. That's where you're going to get your support, your inspiration, your accountability, and you're going to meet other like-minded people. And this is important so that we can be stronger moving forward together. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Light Body Living. Remember to take the opportunity to work on healing yourself, even if it's only one thing you do tomorrow, and that be cut out something that you're using that's ultra processed. Look around, think about it, cut down on your sodas, cut out the chips, get some more fruits in the bowl in the kitchen. Um, make yourself a salad, do pick one thing and start doing it. Drinking more water, getting yourself coconut water weekly, things that will help move the needle forward in the right direction. Prevent, prevent, prevent. Thank you very much.